because I told you to lower your carbs. So what happens now? We're missing B vitamins, and now you can't process sugar as energy, right? Then it gets better, because now the amino acids, which should never be used as fuel, gets pushed over into this cycle, and it increases fermentation, more acid, more gasoline in your blood, and now we build up something extra called urea, which builds up ammonia. Now we have gasoline, ammonia, and acid in your blood. That might cause a little inflammation. Can we agree? So we got to, was Odo right or not? He's right on. And listen to this. Cancer can't live in an oxygen-rich environment. Whoa. So if we can stop fermenting sugar and start processing the fuel all the way to the end game, guess what? Cancer can't live in your body. Is that cool? All right, so there's oxygen and there's fermentation up there. So we got to fix the fermentation, right? How do we fix it? Well, very simple. We need B complex. We need B vitamins, right? Where do we get B vitamins from besides a bottle? Now, I recommend this to kickstart it, but what you eat. What has B vitamins in it?
Green vegetables.
Deep green vegetables, those heavy ones like kale and spinach, the cabbages, all those. Meat, now meat has a ton of the next one, which is, oh, that's right, that's not the one, that's CoQ10 with lipoic acid, okay? But CoQ10 is critical. And by the way, anybody in this room taking a Lipitor or a statin drug, I'm going to tell you right now, stop. Because there's no problem with cholesterol. You've been lied to, the science is bad. If you were at the last program, you'd have known that. Okay, and I'll show it again. It's ridiculous how they destroyed and totally manipulated the American society into taking the most popular drugs, which are your cholesterol-lowering drugs. But you insist on taking drugs, you better take CoQ10, because CoQ10 is depleted in the heart. Okay, now here's the thing. Now think about this. When they hear about Lipitor, the side effects of a cholesterol-lowering, what do they say? There's a serious but common side effect called rhabdomyolysis. And they do it real quiet so nobody hears it, right? You know what rhabdomyolysis is? What's the word lysis? Lysis means to break down. What's myo mean? Muscle. Breakdown of muscle. So Lipitor causes rhabdomyolysis. What's a heart made out of? I forget. Isn't it a muscle? So you take Lipitor, you break down the heart to protect the heart. That doesn't make much sense. Get it? You need procarnitine. Your meat, your healthy organic meat, but kickstart it with the carnitine. Okay? And multi-trace minerals, multi-min chelate. You need those trace minerals, your magnesium, manganese. You need all the other trace minerals. This stuff is loaded with every mineral the body needs. Okay? And it gets depleted out so quickly. Okay? But what? Now, we said sugar was terrible. Agreed? What's worse than sugar? Pretend sugars. Okay? Now, aspartame is not this one, and this one's way more popular than aspartame now because this is made from what? Sugar. Okay? Now, has anybody seen this slide before where I read this out loud? Anybody? Watch this slide. Now watch this. I'm going to do my best. I always try. Okay? So what we do is we take a molecule of sugar. Okay? And now we're going to convert it into sucralose, which is this color, the Splenda. That's the brand name. Okay? Here's how it works. Okay? Splenda is made from sugar? Yeah, it is. Watch what happens. Sucrose is a triethylated trial chloride in the presence of dimethylated fluoride and 4-methylmidamorphoproline and triethylated sucrose and acetylated. The resulting trips becomes then chlorinated hydrogenated chloride and toluene, which is a solvent, and then we put in sucrose 2,3,4,4-pentate and it's heated to the presence of methyl aldehyde alcohol and acetic acid, and resulting 6-PAS sucralose creates sucrose 2,3,6,3,4-pentaacetate and is chlorinated, then thiochloride present in the presence of toluene, creating benzotriethylmethylchloride, chloride, which is a result of the topsa sucralose pentaacetate, which is treated with methanol, which is wood alcohol or a poison, in the presence of sodium methylate, to finally produce our product, which is called, okay, what started as sugar is now called 1,6-dichloro 1,6-di-chloro-1,6-4-chloro-4-dityl-also-D-glycopyroxidin, or sucralose. That's hard. I don't know. This looks good to me, doesn't it to you? I want to put this in my body a lot. You guys are nuts, man. And then you go, Dr. Ray, I got my protein over at GNC. I bought it at Sam's Club, and I got it over at the Walmart. It was great. It tasted so good. You know why? It has this in it. Okay? Would you put this in your body? No. You know why? Why you would never do that? Because it's poison. Do you realize this is poison? It was created as an insecticide. Okay? Don't eat this crap. So, okay, God, I can't just drink black sugar in my coffee. Are you kidding me? I need some sugar, dude. All right, let's use some stuff. Stevia, erythritol, and xylitol. Stevia is very, very, very sweet. Okay? So don't use too much. Okay? These two are a little better for cooking. All right? But remember, these are still, they're natural, but they tend to cause a little trouble with your tummy. So don't do too much of them. Okay? So, another myth. Fat makes us fat. Okay? The truth. Fat does not make us fat. The truth is that fat is essential. Fat does not make you fat. Bad fat, sugar, and the inability to burn fat makes us fat. Okay? So, leptin. Leptin is the fat-burning hormone. By the way, where is the fat-burning hormone manufactured? Does anybody know?
Thyroid.
Nope.
Brain.
Nope.
Liver.
In the muscles. And how do the muscles get it? What signals the release of leptin? Anybody know? Exercise. So if you exercise, leptin is released, floats through the bloodstream, plugs into the brain. The brain then sends a signal to the fat cells and says, let's start mobilizing fat, we need some energy. Follow? Okay? Insulin, where's insulin come from? Y'all know this one. Pancreas, right? So the insulin plugs in, so the leptin plugs into the brain receptors causing fat burning, and the insulin plugs into the liver and into the muscles, allowing sugar to be mobilized and put inside the cell so it can be processed as energy. Okay? Now, bad fat causes inflammation, which gums up the receptor sites in the brain, so leptin can't plug in. Also, if you gum up your brain, what is that going to cause? Anybody got an idea? Maybe a little dementia, brain fog, can't think straight, can't remember stuff, trouble with thinking, can't remember. Anybody in this room? Yeah, thank you. Okay, good. Which gums up so we can't burn fat and we can't think straight on top of it. And then sugar causes inflammation with gum. We just learned about sugar, right? Which causes the sites of the liver and muscle insulin can't plug in. So now, you can't get the mobilization to burn the fat to generate the energy, right? You've got tons of inflammation in the sugars. Now you can't, you're like floating in sugar, and your muscles are going, you can see it going by in the bloodstream. Dude, I wish I could have some of that. Okay? And what happens? The muscles call the brain and say, dude, we need more sugar. I'm not getting it. So what do? We get a stimulus from our stomach. Guess what that's called? What's that hormone? Who remembers from a million years ago in one of my programs? Makes your stomach to what? Oh, it's gremlin. I like that. We'll use gremlin. That'll be my next program. Good job. Okay, it's ghrelin. Makes your stomach to ghrelin. That's how I remember it. Ghrelin stomach. Okay? So it makes you hungry. Ghrelin makes you hungry. And what do? Eat more sugar. And then what happens is sugar gets converted to fat. Eat more fat, the fat gets converted, more of these trans fats, all that junk. You see the catch-22? And we wonder why we're clinically obese. Right? Toxins and medications. Guaranteed your medications are causing inflammation. By the way, what's the purpose of a symptom? What is a symptom for? Tells you there's something wrong. It's a signaling system, right? You take a drug, okay? You put it in your pie hole for a benefit, correct? That's why you do it. What is at the end of every commercial? No, not side effects.
No, yeah, everything.
No, they're symptoms. So what is the body telling you? Something's not right. This is not good. Don't do this to me. And you keep doing it. My doctor said I'm supposed to. Oh my Lord. So the consequence is a crap load of non-resolution of inflammation causes all these big words up here. Feel free to read them if you'd like, but these are the ones we understand. Hardening of the arteries. It's not cholesterol. Okay? Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease and lung cancer, obesity, cancer in general, multiple sclerosis, asthma, inflammatory bowel disease, and rheumatoid arthritis. What do you think? Making sense? All right. So what are bad fats? The word hydrogenation trans fat is synonymous. Partially or completely, I don't care what it is, don't eat it. Cottonseed oil, vegetable oils, all your plant-based oils are hydrogenated in one way, shape, or form because they're unstable. The body has to do this in order to stabilize it. Trans fats is in your margarine, synthetic butters, and rancid vegetable oils. Corn oil, canola oil, all of those are simply vegetable oils found in practically every bread, cookie, box, and can in our entire population at the grocery store. So guess what? Can't have them. Watch out. So what do you got to eat instead? Extra virgin olive oil, avocado and avocado oil, coconut oil, raw nuts and seeds and oils, real butter. Now, raw is best. I can't stand raw butter. I need salt. Okay? So I eat salt in my butter. Oop, I just confessed. I'm not perfect. Okay? What else we got? Raw cheeses and yogurts, grass-fed meats, chicken, grass-fed meats, grass-fed eggs. I never got that. Okay? Whole milk, so I screwed that up. Fatty fish. Pacific or wild-caught salmon, small fish, and sardines. Why are Pacific salmon better than Atlantic salmon? Toxins? And they're fatter. But what? Say it again. It's colder. So if you get cold, what do the fish put on? A little more pounds. So that the white stripes in the fish, you want to see the big stripes. Okay, that's good, healthy fat that you want, okay, in those fish. But again, not if you're buying them farm raised. By the way, why are farm raised fish, salmon and the like, bad? What are they giving them? Byproducts of all the garbage that nobody else eats. They grind up all this stuff. Now, fish are vegetarians, mostly, right? But they grind all this meat product and fish product and chickens and dead parts of beef, and they grind all this stuff up, which had pesticides and herbicides and grain, which is sugar, and they put this, and they go, here, fishy, fishy, fishy. And we eat them, and we think we're okay. Okay, get it? And then, of course, we got sardines and small fish as well. Okay? So raise your hand if you want Alzheimer's. Everybody raise your hand high and strong if you want to be Alzheimer's. You want dementia, any kind of brain problem, you sure? Raise your hand. Meryl says yes, she's the only one. Okay? So you don't want Alzheimer's. Your brain is mainly made of fat and cholesterol. So low-fat diets, cholesterol-lowering drugs is giving you dementia. Okay? The lion's share of fatty acids in the brain are actually saturated. A diet that's skimpy and healthy fats robs your brain of the raw materials needed to optimize its function. So supplements that can cross the blood-brain barrier. This is so important. What is a blood-brain barrier? There's no blood making it to your brain. Do you guys know that? Because if it did, all the white blood cells would get in there and start damaging your brain. So they have a blood-brain barrier, so you can't get that stuff in there. But the challenge is inflammation can pass through and give you the damage. So what do you got to do? We got to the supplements that decrease that inflammation in your brain. Neuroflam. It has a special property that allows it to cross through the blood-brain barrier to decrease brain inflammation. The other thing is the omega-3s. Not the omega-6s, the omega-3s. Okay? Those are your three-chain amino acids, three-chain fatty acids. Okay? Those are the best. This particular one has the cofactors in it and quite a few minerals in it as well. Okay? Make sense? One more if I saw pictures. Do we need a picture real quick? I think I flipped through too fast for you, no? Okay. So, next, meat. Fat in meats causes diseases, cancer, osteoporosis, and kidney disease. Hopefully I made my point. The problem is conventional meat. Now I try to say this at some of my programs and I screw it up every time, so I wrote it down. Let's see if I get it right this time. Okay? Toxic bioaccumulation. Environmental release of toxic substances, low concentrations found in soils and plants. So they say it's okay to we poison our environment because it's such a low concentration. We can dump all this junk in the ocean because there's so much ocean. Okay? It's okay. And where there's so much soil, we'll be just fine. Well, the problem is the herbivores, they eat 10 grams of living plants to make 1 gram of itself. Okay? So now we got 10 times the amount that was in the plants. Following? Now, the carnivores now eat 10 times greater than the herbivores, or 100 times more toxic than the soil, than the plants. You see the problem? So that's why you've got to eat your meat organic. Because we live in a poisonous world. It's our own fault, but you've got to be careful with this stuff. So change your animal products first. Why? Because they're the most toxic. Okay? And they have the biggest impact on our body. So grass-fed beef, free-range chicken and eggs, wild-caught fish, and natural sources of dairy. Good luck on natural sources of dairy, by the way. Okay? So the whey protein, okay? The stuff we have here, now, make sure you get your stuff here, okay? And I'm saying that because I don't know how they're processing your protein. See, they use a crap load of heat, which denatures the proteins. The whey protein could come from a cow that ate grain, which has pesticides and herbicides on it. Then they inject them full of estrogens so that they can get more yield out of the milk. And guess what, boys? Have a lot of it we don't need. Estrogens. We have these are called xenoestrogens, which plug into our receptor sites in our equipment, and all of a sudden we can't get Mr. Happy to do his equipment stuff. You see the problem? That's a big problem, boy, I tell you. I'm not a fan of that at all. Okay? So make sure you guys are getting your healthy stuff here, okay? Everything I can vouch for all the vendors that we use here because I've seen most of the factories. Okay? I need grain. Okay, according to the old food pyramid, we need 5 to 8 servings of grains every day to be healthy. I wonder why that might be, since we're the #1 distributor of wheat and grain in the world. That might be a big issue maybe, huh? Okay, so let's look at some stuff. The elk-corn ancient grain versus the hard white wheat from modern times, the GMO manipulated seeds. Elk-corn wheat, ancient stuff. Is 4 feet tall, extremely high in protein, has 28% more protein than the other stuff. Low molecular weight of gluten, so our big gluten issues as it relates to gut and damaging and immune system stuff, which is a whole nother discussion. Grows slowly, hardy and self-sufficient, and it was built by God. Okay, pretty good stuff. Okay, modern wheat, on the other hand, is 2 feet tall, soft and pliable, higher in carbs, 70% more carbs, high in gluten, matures quickly, survives, requires human intervention, or it will die, it will burn, it will disappear, and it's been hybridized 10,000 times. In other words, you started off with the elk-corn wheat, and then they decided to put a little genetic thing here, and then they put this in here, and decided to pull this over here, and da-da-da-da-da, until now we got the modern wheat. And then what do we do with that? We process it even more. We grind it up. We take all the good stuff out, which is on the outside of the wheat, and we pull out all the inside stuff, which is all the sugar, okay? And we call that white flour. Then we take all this artificial stuff and put it back into it and call it fortified, okay? Or is that the word? What's the word? Not for, is it for? Enriched. Enriched white flour. It's enriched. You know what was rich? This was rich, okay? Get it? All right, so continuing down the trail. FDA and USDA is protecting us. We don't have to worry because the Food and Drug Administration is watching our backs. It's okay. They're doing a good job. Now you guys can get in your conspiracy theory stuff now. Okay? Okay. The system is broken. There's often hidden agendas executed at the expense of public health. There's so much fraud in this system. The FDA approved 3,000 food additives, preservatives, and colorings. The average person ingests 150 pounds of artificial additives every year. And the this is genetically modified crops are horrible. You can't find soy in America. People say, can I have soy, Dr. Ray? No. I don't know. I mean, 91% chance of being GMO, okay? And then an 88% chance of cotton. I love my cotton shirt. Guess what? That stuff penetrates, right? Canola oil, corn oil, Hawaiian papaya, sadly 50%. And some of the other ones here. So non-GMO, guys. How do you know if something's GMO at the grocery store? What's the magic number? Say it out loud, big. No.
8.
GMO is 8. What's 9? Organic. So when you're at the grocery store, the little you know the thing you guys check in with the you know, at the grocery store? Okay? The first position number needs to be a number 9. If it's an 8, feel free to buy it and put it in the center of like a fruit bowl in front of your kitchen and leave it there and watch what happens. It never breaks down. Isn't food supposed to break down? I thought it did, because we have to absorb it and put it into the Krebs cycle. Isn't that crazy? And that's our food supply, right? Frankenfood. GMOs, pesticides, adders, nitrates and nitrites, and hormones and antibiotics. Don't get me started on nitrates and nitrites, okay? Because those things cause cancer. Let me rephrase. These do not cause cancer until you hook them up with an amino acid in meat. What's the purpose of a nitrate and a nitrite? Do you guys know?
No.
Keeps it red. That's it. Doesn't do anything for the flavor, doesn't do anything for the vitality, nothing. You know that gray beef when you see it and you go, ooh, buy it. Because there's nothing wrong with it. It just looks funny. Okay, it is old beef, but so what? Old beef is aged, you get marbleization, it's yummy. Okay? And they'll give you half price. Okay? Eating is boring and tasteless, and it's so hard, Dr. Ray. Okay, the ML nutrition plans, it's good stuff. Okay, they're satisfying. You eat and it feels like the old days. Now, for you young kids, don't know that, but the old days. I remember sitting at my mom's table, and there were great chow. I mean, the foods were amazing, right? And now we're just so. I just don't have time, Dr. Ray. Well, get one of my protein shakes and do the shake meal replacement. But you can't do them all day. You got to eat 2 food meals a day minimum. Real food. Okay? All right. So 99% of this room should be on advanced eating. A very small percentage should be on core. Now, what's the difference in the two? It's actually very simple. Okay? The advanced eating plan, sugar and carbohydrates are eliminated. And when I say sugar, I mean things that become sugar and are sugar. Okay? That means obviously candy bar, soda pop, the basics, right? Things in a box or a can. But what we're talking about here is your grains. That would include rice, pasta, bread, anything else, tortillas, sorry, rice patties, rice crackers, all that kind of stuff. Sugars, fruit, except for berries, grapefruit, Granny Smith apple. We didn't use that grapefruit in, but then we put it in. Okay? Because even grains, even healthy grains turn to sugar. Now when you get in the core plan, you can put in those healthy grains again because your body's inflammation is so low it can handle that load. Okay? Protein, and I already talked about this, get your natural meat sources and remove the bad fats and replace them with good ones. Okay? New book. Yes, ma'am?
I do have a question. What about wild game?
Wild game, as far as I'm concerned, is amazing.
Is this great to eat?
Again, I can't attest to the food it's eating, but generally speaking, they're grazing. I mean, I would say it's probably way better than anything we could buy from the grocery store. Okay? Now, does that mean it's perfect? I don't remember a study, but it's in here somewhere. But they were talking about, they went to the highest of heights and the farthest of fars, and they were checking for toxins, and it's not untouched up there either. Because we have poisoned the whole planet. Okay? But I think it's probably better than, I mean, if you're grazing in a field in Colorado versus up in the mountains, it's the same. I think it's probably better. Okay? Good question, though. She said, is game good for you, for wild game, for those who couldn't hear her. Okay? New nutrition book. Okay? This is the highlight of tonight, right here. If you don't walk out with anything, this is the bugger right here. Okay? That's what you want, the new nutrition book. It's got a boatload of wonderful recipes and strategies and everything about how to develop a healthy life. Okay? So make sure you pick up the book tonight. Okay? It's called Align Your Health. Good name, yeah? Okay? Foods we gotta avoid. Foods that contain processed carbohydrates and sugars. Food with sugar substitutes. Foods containing trans fats. Foods containing fats that turn rancid. That would be trans and hydrogenated, right? Any type of highly processed foods. Labels, do's and don'ts. Read your labels. Don't worry so much about the ingredients, about the amounts. Worry more about the densities, what's in there, how much fat, how much protein. Don't worry about that so much. Okay? Is it naturally occurring? That's the most important thing. Beware of questionable marketing. Organic and natural are not substitutes for the number 9. Okay? They'll put it over here and say, this is a natural beef product. Really? How's that organic? It's not. Okay, so be careful of the slick labels. Don't buy items with anything of this in the ingredient. Monosodium glutamate. Anybody know what glutamate is? Glutamate's a hormone in your brain. And guess what it does? It stimulates your brain, which is great when you're thinking and your body's making this glutamate. But guess what? When you overstimulate your brain, that causes all kinds of inflammation, short circuits your brain. So this is bad news. So the word monosodium glutamate is also hidden as MSG, hydrolyzed anything, and autolyzed. It says autolyzed, blah, 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 blah. It's all MSG, okay? Any artificial sweeteners, that includes the sucralose I tried to read, the aspartame, NutraSweet, and NutraSweet is equal, Splenda, or sorry, aspartame, NutraSweet, and equal are all the same thing, and Splenda and sucralose are the same thing, okay? Okay, hydrogenated anything, okay? So don't do that, and watch out for the flowers, okay? Colorings, preservatives, look for chemical names. If you can't read it, don't eat it, okay? I could barely read it, and I think I know what I'm doing sometimes, okay? Shopping, grocery store, plan your meals for the week, okay? Take your list, keep the basics stocked on the fly. So you're not, when you go home, there should be the basics at your house. Okay, so you can, oh gosh, what are we going to make? Oh look, there's some stuff I can throw together and make a stir fry or something like that, right? So make sure you have those staples, okay? Eat meals before shopping. Actually, Brian added this one. I didn't have this on the list. But eat before you go shopping, right? Because if you're hungry, what's going to look more appealing? Deep fried, greasy, sugary, snacky, soda pop, all that stuff, right? Read your labels like I showed you before and avoid conventionally grown foods. They contain pesticides, herbicides, and hormones. Okay? Pictures? No. I'm moving on. Okay. General nutrition steps. Establish your big why. Why do you want to eat healthy? Why do you want to be healthy? Because if your reason for being, Dr. Ray, I just want my back pain to go away. That's what it's all about, man. For me, I just want that back pain gone. When the back pain goes away, guess what you'll be doing? You'll be right back in McDonald's, right back at Burger King, doing all the crap again, and you'll be right back here trying to manage your pain again. You got to have a bigger goal in mind. What is your goal for your life? And like I said, it's different for everybody. It's your great-grandchildren, or it's whatever it is for you. And it's not important. It can be very vain. Hey, I want to look young forever. I want to be fit. I want girls to look at me for the rest of my days, baby. That's okay. I don't care what it is. What's important is it's important to you, and it makes you want to stick to your guns and make your adjustments, do your homework, watch your nutrition, detoxify, all that stuff. Okay? So add more healthy nutrients. Dense foods are best. Take away the more unhealthy items, spend time planning and shopping, and keep a food journal. You'll be amazed how much crap you won't put in your body when you make yourself write it down. And show it to me. You guys can now really get you. Go for it. Nutrient dense. Think about this, okay? My granddad, when he was a farmer, okay? He grew wheat in this field and took this year off. Wheat. Oh, wheat. Okay, he grew a lot of weeds too. Okay? He was always cussing weeds. Okay? But he grew wheat in this field and took this year off. When you're looking at farms, you see there's a wheat thing and a big empty patch. And then the next year, you plow this under and you plant this one. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. What happens to the soil? You keep sucking out the same nutrients. I don't care if you keep it 1 year off, you're still losing all those nutrients. So non-nutrient dense foods. So what basically I'm talking about is real food. The best thing you do, walk over into your garden, grab a carrot, pull it out of the ground, blow the dust off and eat the dirt on it, because it's got good trace minerals. Okay? As long as it's healthy organic soil, right? See what I mean? That's what I mean, okay? Drink your veggies. Okay, quiz question. How many fruits and vegetables should you be eating per day? 4, 8. Mary, you keep quiet.
7 to 9.
What is it? How many? 5? Okay.
7 to 9.
7 to 9? Yeah, the two Smarties in the pants. These are my most amazing patients in there. 15, it's 15. Okay? Raise your hand if you eat 15 fruits and vegetables a day. My hand is in the air. Okay? Raise your hand. Okay? Now you can count. Very good. How many people eat? Okay, now put your hands down. Start from the beginning. Okay, how many people eat 1? Raise your hand. And ketchup doesn't count. 1 vegetable a day. That's all I'm asking for. You gotta be kidding me.
I mean, at least.
Oh my
Are you saying
God.
only
I am not doing a very good job.
Start out.
Terrible.
Oh,
Oh, at least
4 or 5.
Yeah.
At least
So,
one.
how many people eat at least one vegetable a day? Maybe I asked you.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot, you guys are giving me a heart attack.
I didn't understand.
Okay, eat ketchup,
I
anything,
thought you
just
were
something
gonna
with
say
some
how about
vegetables in it. Okay. So at least one a day. At least we got you guys eating some vegetables, okay? But make it simple, okay? And the reason my hand went up is not because I eat 15 real raw vegetables. It's because I cheat. Vegetables are ideal for a busy lifestyle. Green and rich phytonutrients, anti-inflammatory, supports the immune system, helps the gut, digestion. It's awesome. But make it easy. The chocolate greens, the original greens, or the green berries, okay? 15 fruits and vegetables in each one, and this one has antioxidant dark chocolate in it. And from what I understand, it's pretty tasty. I haven't had that one. Is it good? I got some no's, I got some yeses. Most of the girls are going like this. I like chocolate. Okay, makes sense? So those are the best way to do it. Mix it in your shake with your protein. My shake in the morning looks like this. It's got the green in it. I alternate this, and I use the Perfect Whey protein, chocolate or vanilla is what I use, and then I add some berries typically. I put in a tablespoon of coconut oil to both boost up my saturated fat levels. I throw in the half an avocado, okay, and I put in a scoop of the greens. I just said the greens. I put in a scoop of the Endura drink for my trace mineral balance. Okay, that's my shakes. Okay, and you guys can do the same thing. Boost your digestion. Okay, so make sure now remember when we're changing diets. Okay, I had a good friend of mine. He was an avid eater of garbage, and he always said, "I can't eat healthy food." And I said, "Why?" He said, "It gives me goose poop." You know what I'm talking about, right? Horrible diarrhea? Well, guess what? If you're used to eating healthy and you go to garbage food, guess what you get? Goose poop. Okay? So remember, much direction you're going, don't be surprised if you get some dietary changes, whether it's constipation or diarrhea. Don't be surprised. If you get constipation, back off a little bit on the nutrition. If you get diarrhea, just balance it out. Once you start getting more normal, then you go back until you get a full-blown change. Okay? So go slow. Give your body the enzymes it needs to break down the nutrients. Slow enzymes equals slow digestion. Enzymes are what break down your nutrients. They're the smallest constituents of glucose, amino acids, and fatty acids. Okay? So enzymes produce naturally. As we age, the enzymes start going south. Okay, so Max GI has a truckload of the natural enzymes to help break down your food. It's got a wonderful complement, and by the way, help the body system by eating more fermented foods. Okay, that includes sauerkraut and anything else, any kind of vegetable you can ferment. If you need a recipe, let me know. I have it. Ferment anything. Okay. Now couple more slides. We're almost done. Okay. If you're into the fat burning side of things, because I want to lose some weight. Everything we just talked about, you do what I told you, you'll lose weight, okay? And it's not a weight loss program, it's a health development program. The byproduct is weight loss. But the conjuline,